I heard veterans say things like this: I tried therapy. I tried medication. I tried everything. So why do they still feel broken? Why do some people come home from war looking fine on the outside, but carrying something heavy on the inside? Something they can't explain, something they can't escape. Maybe it's because they've been trying to heal the wrong wound. Most people understand trauma through the lens of fear. A firefight, an explosion, an ambush, a moment where your body learned danger and never fully forgot it. That's real. PTSD is real, and treatment for PTSD matters. But what if fear isn't the deepest wound? What if the real pain isn't about what happened to you, but about what happened inside of you? What if the wound came from something you did, something you saw, something you failed to stop, or something that shattered everything you believed about right and wrong? That's where moral injury lives. Not in fear, but in guilt, shame, regret, betrayal, self-condemnation. Moral injury isn't simply a wound of the nervous system. It's a wound of conscience, a wound of identity, a wound of the soul. As both a combat veteran and a chaplain, I've seen this up close. I've heard the silence. I've seen the weight people carry, not because they were afraid, but because they were haunted by memories, by questions, by things they can't unsee, by things they can't undo. This is why some people say, I got help, but nothing touched the deepest part of me. Because calming the nervous system matters, but it doesn't fully heal a wounded conscience. You cannot medicate away guilt. You cannot suppress shame forever. And you cannot ignore a wound in the soul. Healing from moral injury looks different. It isn't about pretending the pain never happened. It isn't about forgetting. And it isn't about getting over it. Healing is about restoration, restoring what war damaged. Your identity, your humanity, your faith, your hope. Healing is possible, even for deep wounds, even for wounds buried in silence, even for wounds you've carried for years. But healing won't happen by treating moral injury like it's only trauma, because this wound runs deeper. So if healing is possible, where does it begin? It begins with something far harder than most people realize, something many veterans try to avoid for years, sometimes decades. It begins when silence finally breaks. That's what we'll talk about in our next video. This is Adkison Outdoors. Faith, freedom, family, and the outdoors. Until next time, leave tracks worth following in the woods and in your life. God bless.